All right, let's do it. Today we are taking a deep dive into this thing called Media Mister.
Media Mister.
Yeah, a service that's claiming to be able to, like, supercharge your social media presence. We've got this document here, and it makes it all sound pretty amazing.
Right.
Almost too good to be true, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like maybe their marketing team wrote it themselves.
Huh. Could be.
But hey, we're here to dig in, right?
You say?
Figure out what Media Mister is all about and if it actually lives up to the hype.
Exactly. It's kind of like, if you want to get in shape, you might hire a personal trainer.
Right.
Well, Media Mister is positioning itself as the personal trainer for your social media.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So the document talks about how Media Mister is like a one-stop shop for all things social media.
Yeah.
They offer followers, likes, views, all that jazz across a ton of different platforms.
Like a lot of platforms.
Yeah, they say something like 60.
60. It's wild, right?
It is kind of mind-boggling. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it really shows how much social media has exploded. I mean, even just a few years ago, we were talking about a handful of major players.
Right, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Now it's this massive fragmented ecosystem.
And to someone who's just trying to get their bearings, I can see how a service like Media Mister would be super appealing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a business or an individual who's trying to, carve out a space for themselves online.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they don't just offer any old followers, right?
Yeah.
Like you can actually choose followers from specific countries.
Yeah. Targeted followers.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
What's the thinking behind that?
Well, it's all about, making sure your message is reaching the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. Let's say you're a small business selling, I don't know, handmade soaps.
Okay.
And most of your customers are in, say, California.
Right?
Well, it wouldn't make much sense to have a bunch of followers from, like, Iceland. Right. Yeah.
No, I guess not. So Media Mister lets you really zero in on your target audience.
Exactly. It's all about maximizing your impact.
Got it. Now, they also mentioned this thing called drip feed delivery. What's that all about?
Ah, yes. Drip feed delivery.
So instead of just dumping a ton of followers on your account all at once, they kind of trickle them in over time.
Right.
Sounds kind of sneaky, doesn't it?
Well, it's not really about being sneaky. It's more about, playing by the rules of the social media game.
Which are?
Well, these platforms, they have algorithms, right? And those algorithms are always on the lookout for anything that looks suspicious.
Suspicious how?
Like unnatural growth patterns.
Oh, I see.
Imagine if your account went from having 100 followers to 10,000 overnight.
Yeah, that would definitely raise some eyebrows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The platforms would flag that as potentially spammy or fake.
So drip feed delivery is Media Mister's way of, like, trying to fly under the radar.
Pretty much. They're trying to make the growth look organic, like it's happening naturally.
Interesting. And the document actually mentions that rapid follower growth can trigger those platform alarms.
Right. It can get you in trouble.
Okay, so using a service like Media Mister, it's not as simple as it might seem at first glance.
Definitely not. There's definitely a strategy involved.
I gotta know what you're doing.
Yep. You got to understand how the algorithms work and how to use these services effectively.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of things that need some explaining, they keep using this phrase, authentic engagement.
Ah, yes. The holy grail of social media.
Right. So what does that actually mean in the context of a service like Media Mister?
Well, at the end of the day, it's not just about the numbers, right? It's about real people actually engaging with your content.
Right, not just bots or fake accounts.
Exactly. Authentic engagement means getting comments, shares, starting discussions.
Real interactions.
Yes, interactions that go beyond just a superficial like or follow.
So it's about building a community, not just inflating your metrics.
Right.
But can a service like Media Mister really create that kind of authentic connection?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, while Media Mister might give you that initial boost, ultimately, cultivating a truly engaged audience requires more than just numbers. Like creating valuable content, content that people actually want to read and share.
Okay, so you still got to do the work.
Yep. You can't just outsource it all. You got to be involved. You got to interact with your followers, build relationships.
So it's like having a fancy sports car.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
You might turn some heads at first, but if you don't know how to drive it...
You're not going to win any races.
Exactly. You're not going to get very far.
Great analogy. And that actually brings up another interesting point about Media Mister.
What's that?
They seem to be very aware of the need to build trust with their users.
Yeah, the document really emphasizes Their positive testimonials, their transparent pricing, the money-back guarantee.
Right. They're going the extra mile to assure people that they're the real deal.
I guess in an industry where there are a lot of scams and shady operations, credibility is everything.
Absolutely. They want people to feel confident that they're investing in a service that actually cares about their success.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and recap what we've learned about Media Mister.
Okay.
They offer this comprehensive suite of services. They focus on targeted growth and supposedly authentic engagement.
Right.
And they really try to build trust with their users. Is this the future of social media?
It's definitely a sign of the times, wouldn't you say? But I think the bigger takeaway here is that, social media success isn't just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about connecting with your audience in a meaningful way.
Creating genuine relationships.
Exactly. And that takes effort, no matter what services you're using.
So as you're considering whether Media Mister is the right fit for you, think about your overall goals. Are you looking for a quick fix, or are you trying to build something sustainable?
That's the key question, isn't it? Quick fix or long-term success?
And remember, the most powerful tool in your social media arsenal is your ability to create great content and connect with your audience.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Media Mister. Until next time.
See you. Bye.